hope that everybody watching this had a good day. Over here, I had a good day. I baked cookies and I made rosemary tea, and it was nice, but I digress. I hope that you guys had good days too. Now let's get to why we're here. This is definitely a dated video, I would say. It's going to be a dated video, but over here, it is April 30th, and we are going to be having I believe, solar eclipse tonight, and tomorrow is the pagan holiday Beltane. And anytime it's a new moon night, it's fun to do a tarot reading to see how things might shape out. So I wanted to give you all a general tarot reading. I thought that would be a fun idea. Before we get started, I should clarify a few things about tarot and my own experience with tarot. I myself am a very new reader. This is not the first deck I've owned, but the first time I had a deck, I was very self-conscious about it and also didn't have a lot of time. So I really felt uncertain about reading and only ever did one tarot spreads for myself like a dork. But I've been doing more research, more studying, I should say, and I've been reading a book and also reading about how there are symbols and things to read from it, but it is very much something practitioners, at least in their own separate journeys, it is a personal reading kind of thing. Everyone's going to, what should I say? Interpret it, that's the word. Interpret it differently out of the main interpretations. So while I may not be perfect in my reading today, which if anybody here is more experienced and I get anything wrong, or you have any thoughts even about how you would interpret it, please let me know in the comments, because that would really help me out and I'd really love to read them. Thank you. But before we actually read, I have one more disclaimer. Tarot is a very old practice that has several different possible origins, or really may have sprouted up in different ways across the world, which I did write a blog post about a while ago. I will link that below in the description for anyone who's interested in learning a little bit more about the history of tarot. But it is commonly used as a form of divination nowadays, which is basically a form of quote-unquote fortune telling that is less so a prediction of the future, but a tool to get the person who is, in this case, being read to meditate, to think and inflect on their own life and how it might actually apply to them. That's why a lot of the times, if tarot seems to be like scary accurate, like, oh my god, this card does have to do with that own thing, it's because you were able to think about that, you were able to meditate on it in the moment, and it made something call to your mind, because you're always subconsciously thinking about things that you don't necessarily bring to the forefront of your mind, but they're there, and sometimes you don't fully know it until something triggers it, for better or for worse, and then it's there. Just some fun stuff. I also have a little guidebook if I end up completely lost on a card, but we'll figure this out together. Basically what I'm saying, this is also a very general reading, obviously. A very personal tarot card reading will be personalized to you. This is something that might be seen by, say, on average 50 people. And the cards can't, speak to every single person 100% directly, but if anything happens, if any of these cards call out to you in a way that makes you sit on something, I really encourage you to take that with you and, you know, take what speaks to you, think on that. And if nothing speaks to you, then you're really put together, and I'm jealous of you. No, I joke, but I'm very bad at shuffling cards. But while I shuffle and break the cards real quick, I'm going to just be doing some clicking. I've gotten in helpful critique comments that sometimes the ASMR is just a little too loud for ASMR, so I'll try to be a bit more gentle, which, by the way, I appreciate all the feedback that you guys give me. Positive or negative, you know, it helps. You don't get better by never being told what you're doing wrong, so I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys. But anyways, sorry, I keep looking up at the camera. I'm supposed to be doing something. I think I've shuffled them as well as I'm going to shuffle them. So, okay, motorcyclist, just drive through my tarot session. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to cut the cards and off camera on this table, I'm going to pick 3 cards for you. 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And it is going to be a typical 3-card tarot spread that represents the past that has happened, the present, where you're at right now, tonight, or whatever time it is when you're watching this, and the near future. I thought that would be a good spread to do for a new moon kind of thing, eclipse. But we're going to pull out the first card. This one was sticking out. It looked like it wanted to be picked up. So I picked it up. And it is, I'd say, a very good card to start with. It seems that whatever way it came, you know, you can look at this past, present, future thing as a general reading, which is kind of what I'm going for here. But if you have, you know, questions of money, work, career, I should say, relationships, you could look into these as how you wish. But the 3 of Cups is a nice card to pull. 3 is a magic number, as you might remember from school, but truly in tarot, 3 is a very, I guess, hopeful, exciting time. You've planted a seed and you've put the work in towards something, and you are starting to see the fruits of your efforts begin to bloom now. In this card, it's specifically in this deck, it's 3 ladies dancing together and drinking. They're in celebration, so you recently had something to celebrate. And I think the red here symbolizes luck, and around them it's literally a harvest. So no matter where you're at with life, doesn't mean things are all going well. There is something worth celebrating, and even if it's yourself, I think that's a really nice past card to pull. Now I will go to pull your present card. Nothing like the present, as they say. Oh, card came out. The Page of Swords. So, I'm actually reading about swords right now, the most recent book I checked out on tarot. But the page represents someone young, aka someone new to something. Could be literally a child, it could be someone in an apprenticeship. The page could be yourself, or you may have recently taken on a page of some sort, metaphorically or literally if you're teaching someone something. But the Page of Swords, swords are in, I think, the air element, I believe. I could be wrong. It's either air or fire. And now I don't know. I'm a baby witch. Please pardon my mistakes. But the sword, the atame, as some people say, in witchcraft, is usually used to direct energy. In a ritual, it's used to harness, I think similarly to the wand. But it's a very direct force. So it sounds to me, again, I could be reading this wrong. I could be entirely wrong about what the actual meaning is, but to me, it seems like you're about to start something new. So you've recently celebrated something. Sorry, there's a cat scratching at my door. She's not supposed to do that. Wi-Fi, go away. But it seems to me like you're on the verge of starting something new after possibly celebrating the end of something recently. I think this is another hopeful card to pull. No reversals yet. Not that all reverses are bad, but the Page of Swords. Look. Standing on top of something, ready to take it on. And I think that's you. In some form. And so, let's pull your third card. These are 3 of the only nails that I painted literally just the other day with cheap nail polish that are still painted. My nose is really itchy, but I have work to do. Ooh. The 6 of Wands. My nose is itchy, I'm sorry. I wouldn't scratch on camera, but it's like really itchy. It's like I inhaled dust, but anyways. Wi-Fi kitty, go away, baby. The 6 of Wands might actually make the last card make sense. So 6, numerology-wise, is not necessarily a lucky number, but I'd say it's a very good number. It represents harmony. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like a hexagon. I think I made a hexagon wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some shape tracing for you there. But wands are similar to the sword, but kind of like in a less aggressive way. It's more like pointing you, nudging you towards something. The 6 of Wands means that whatever you're, in terms of I'd say future reading, it seems like whatever you're about to start, no matter how the journey towards it goes, because 5 is one of the most uncertain numbers in numerology. You have to do stuff to get there, but it seems like you're heading towards harmony. And the wands in particular are very creative in nature. They represent a lot of creative energy. So maybe you're starting a new hobby. Maybe you're starting a new art class. Maybe you're starting a new class that's not art, but is something you're passionate about. But it seems that harmony is within your passions, and it's literally sprouting up. And again, I am no tarot expert. I just very fortunately happened to read about wands and cups and such recently. So I'm pretty confident about most of that. And again, I'm not just covering my own butt. A lot of tarot readers just say to heck with the, 100% right definition and go off intuition. And that's something I'm trying to do more. And if it would help you, I say you follow your intuition too. Stop clanging at the door. try to scare her away by like pretending I'm a cat on the other side of the door. Anyways, you've gotten what you came here for. I'm not gonna hold you up. One more time. If you have any comments about how I did with the tarot reading, your own interpretation, or just, you know, how you read it, if it's not too personal, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And if you're new here and like the video, please consider subscribing. I do ASMR on the side as a fun way to explore a lot of other weird things I like to do. But thank you guys. If you're here on the night of the eclipse, I hope it's a good one for you. And if not, I hope that you have an excellent day anyways.